Welcome to the Jill on Money Show. It's Sunday, June 30th. Woo boy, end of June, halfway point. Can't believe it. A perfect time for a little mid-year money makeover, a little checkup and see how you're doing on the progress of those goals or objectives you set out back 6 months ago. If you would like some guidance, we'd love to help you out. Go to JillOnMoney.com, click the Contact Us button. Don't forget to let us know if you would like to join us on the air. While you're on the website, don't forget to subscribe to our Jill on Money live service. This subscription service is kicking it right now, gang. For just $35, you have access to quarterly live webinars for 12 months, bonus video content, plus you get to watch all the webinars that have been conducted, including our most recent one with Heather Schreiber, the Social Security Queen. So check it out, Jill on Money Live. Okay, right now, let's talk to Diane, who's on the line from Illinois.
We have kind of an interesting situation, at least for us. My husband just started a second job, and it's not something we were intending. And so we have not quite double our current income, but pretty close. And I think what we want to know at the root of it is, are we doing enough for retirement? And if so, then we have other things we want to do with that money. And if we're not doing enough, well, we have a whole extra money coming in. Maybe you can help us fix how to do that. So I think that's the question.
How does he have another? Is this like two full-time jobs, or is this a part-time job? Is this a side hustle? Like, tell me a little bit more.
It is two full-time jobs. So he's a professor, and then he's just as of this summer, he's also an Episcopal priest. So it all works out schedule-wise and time-wise, but he's going pretty much 24/7.
That's a lot. Okay, so the first job is the professorship. And do you work as well?
I do. I just have a little part-time job, so I don't make very much, maybe about 15.
Okay. You guys have kids?
We do. We've got two boys, 9 and 12.
How old are you guys?
I'm 42 and he's 47.
Okay. As a professor, what does he earn?
He's making 57.
57. Okay. As an Episcopal priest, what does he earn?
55.
Which is the job that provides benefits? Or do they both?
Well, technically they could both. So right now, all of our health stuff is with the professor job, but it could go to the priest job if it needed to.
So in retirement, tell me what you're putting away. Like in the professorship job,
right.
Is it a 403B?
It must be. It's through TIA crap. It's
Yep, definitely. How much money's in there?
Okay, so he's got 113 in there right now. He puts in 2.5% and they put in 5%.
Now, the second job, tell me what is that?
So
like retirement.
We're not doing anything with that, but they provide a pension.
Ooh.
Yeah, right. And so I figured out if he stays there for 20 years, he'll make about $1,600 a month.
So is that it for retirement, his 403B, or do you have an IRA, or does he have an old IRA kicking around also?
I've got a Roth, and so I just put $500 a month in that. So I've got $65,000 in that.
Nice.
Well, good. I'm glad. Every little bit helps.
Any non-retirement assets that you guys have?
Not too much. We have a $20,000 emergency fund, and I just opened a brokerage account in May. So we have about $3,500 in that. And we've got 529s for the kids.
How much is in there for each kid?
Let's see. So the older one has 30 and the younger one has 20.
Are you continuing to fund those, or are those sort of like one and done? Like, did you dump money in, or are you continually putting money in?
With the professor job, they'll get tuition free for colleges, which is great, right? But we're not 100% sure he's going to be able to sustain both jobs because it's all the time.
You think?
Right. So I think I guess I'm hedging my bets. I guess what I'd like to do is, like, we started beefing up the 529s. We were putting in like $75 a month for the longest time. And now we're tucking in a lot more just so we have that freedom to not be tied to that other one if we can't sustain it. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I mean, I don't want, we'll get into that in a second. Tell me about the house. What do you own your home?
We do. It's a 30-year mortgage, so it's 3.65%, and we owe 123 on it, and it's worth maybe 200, 220.
And you're going to stay there? Like, you like where you live?
We do, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And are there any other assets floating around that we should know about, like any rental property or anything like that?
No, nothing else. We're pretty straightforward.
Okay, that sounds good. So big picture,
Yeah.
you are calling saying, are we doing enough for retirement? Let's just say that he is the Episcopal priest. Like that seems to me like you could do that for a long time. So when are we trying to target retirement? Like what is the age of retirement that we're thinking about?
I think it's pretty flexible. So I think you're right. I think the official retirement age is 72. Like then they say, no, you really should retire from this.
Okay.
Church, but I see anywhere from 67 to 72.
Okay, I understand. While you are making all of this money, what do your expenses look like? What do you spend right now?
We've put all the money into different places in the last 6 months just to make sure we're not, piddling it away without realizing it. But at the root of it, what we need is like $4,000 a month. We're retired. That's all we need. And the rest is just what can we do to get ahead a little bit or give it away, that kind of a thing.
Give it away. I want to give it to you first. Let's take care of you guys first. So think about this.
Okay.
So $4,000 a month. Okay. And in 20 years, he would get $1,600 a month from the pension, and he would get Social Security. Have you done a Social Security estimate at his full retirement age?
I did like a ballpark one, and I thought it was like 3,800 or something like that.
And that would be just his or his and yours?
That's a good question. I might have combined it because mine was about 1,000.
Yeah, that sounds like a combo. Okay. So it sounds to me like you're pretty on target to meet your needs generally. It's not perfect. We have to factor in inflation and all that. I think you are looking good. Ideally, if I'm really being brutalist about this, I would like you to put more money away into his 403B. I really would. 2.5%. It's just not that much money. Does he have a Roth 403B option?
I don't think so. I'll double check, but it's never come across.
Okay. Yeah. So I would say at least 5% and more like 10% is what I'd like his contribution to be. Now, of course, if he leaves there in 2 years, it's all going to be moot anyway. So then the next part of that is if you guys are looking at him leaving, we have to think about like, what is it that you really need? And then like, I don't know, when he goes, if he were to do like adjunct, it would be probably more like, I don't know what, 15, 20 grand a year rather than 57.
Right. It'd be nothing. Yeah.
It would be, not nothing, but it would be something, but I don't know how much more you could put away. But if you were going to put away anything, we would want you to keep putting money into your Roth. He would open up a Roth for himself also. And that's what you guys would do. You would max out your Roths each year. And that would be, I think, probably pretty much what you could afford on that salary, on one salary. Is that right?
Makes sense to me.
And I just stop putting money into the 529 plan. It's fine. Like what you have is fine. He shouldn't feel like he's going to kill himself and, have 2 jobs to just get these kids through college. It would be nice. But like if he really, I don't know, if for an adjunct, they probably don't pay for school. I don't know if you get any sort of break for being part of the system, even if you're not full time.
I don't know. I'd want him to kind of negotiate that in if he could. Yeah.
Yeah, that would be great. Even if it were like, okay, not 100%, but 50%, that would be huge for you guys. Huge. Is there any other debt besides the mortgage floating around?
No, nothing.
Insurance? Do you have some life insurance for you guys?
Do. And I guess my question with that is that like, I don't contribute that much financially. I'm aware I have a lot of value in the family, but as far as money goes, we only have 100 on me. Is there any reason to have more on me? If I were to pass, like the kids could be at home alone. They're old enough to do that and their grandparents and.
Okay. No, not really. Usually when they're really young, we say yes, because then if you're the primary caretaker and instead of, them being 9 and 12, they're, 3 and 6, then we're like, we need to hire somebody, right? But if they're really, sort of more in their self-sufficient mode, and if you have family to help, then you don't need that. And how much life insurance does he have?
He has 500.
I feel like he needs a little more. Because again, here's the problem. The reason is that if he dies before he gets that pension benefit, you could really be at risk.
Okay.
Do you get it privately or through work?
It's half and half. So we have 250 and the church has 250.
If you can buy more, then do that.
Okay.
If you can get it through the church, for sure. Because I feel like just like in the near term, and I mean like 10 years, especially like the next 10 years while the boys are still, youngish
Yeah.
is one aspect of it. But also like, I really think you might need, he has whatever, 19 years to go to get that pension. And without that pension, you're in trouble. Okay. Unless you get a new husband fast. How do you feel about that as your insurance policy? How could that be something that you? No, I'm totally kidding. So I think I'd really like more like $1 million. All right, that makes sense, right?
Oh, absolutely.
How about the estate planning?
Yeah, we've got all that done for what
All right.
it's there. Yeah.
I love that. I think it's tough to work 2 full-time jobs, and we don't want to drive this man to, go insane. So I think that you encouraging him to say, look, just go do the thing you love. If you loved being an Episcopal priest, then be that. That's maybe the job you can do for 20 years. There's a huge payoff for doing it. Go adjunct. And like, is there any chance for you, Diane, that as the kids get older, you'd earn a little bit more?
I think in the hundreds per month.
All right. What else is on your question list? What haven't we helped you with today?
I think the one question I have with the putting 5 to 10% in the 403B, should he just open a Roth instead, or is there a reason?
Yeah, he could do that. It depends. I want to try to make it as frictionless as possible.
Okay.
So if it's like, once the money goes into the savings and checking, it just kind of disappears. If it happens more seamlessly by using the 403B, then do it. If it is like no big deal and you're doing your own Roth, then sure, then rock and roll and get his Roth going. If there were a 403B Roth option, then that would be the first choice.
Okay, this helps so much. I really appreciate it.
If you'd like to join us on the program, it's so easy. Just go to JillOnMoney.com and click the Contact Us button. While you're there, don't forget, sign up for the free weekly newsletter. It comes out every Friday. What a wonderful way to go into your weekend. How wonderful for you that Mark does this. You can subscribe to us on the Odyssey app or wherever you find your favorite podcasts. Please leave us a rating and review wherever you listen. And put your hands metaphorically on someone's back, gang. Someone needs a little bit of a boost. Change your work, change your wealth, change your life. Thank you for listening. We'll talk to you tomorrow.